Welcome to the Oracle Retail Cloud Documentation video series on customer segmentation. Customer segmentation is an enterprise-specific solution that uses data mining to group customers based on customer attributes and customer transactions. You can use this information to describe and predict customer behavior. It provides you a vehicle to target customers with offers, pricing, assortment, and experience. In this session, I'll be showing you how to generate a customer segment. After logging in, I'll select the Customer Segmentation Overview tab. The Customer Segmentation Overview tab displays a list of the most recently defined segment criteria and provides the status, segmentation, applicable merchandise, location, and calendar nodes. To create a customer segment, I'll select the Tasks icon, and then I'll select Customer Segmentation, and then Generate Customer Segment. The Generate Customer Segments window is used to create segments, and then model the segments with various scenarios in order to determine the best set of segments. It consists of 3 stages: segment criteria, segment results, and segment insights. To create a segment, I'll select the Create Segment icon. In this pop-up, you define the initial segmenting parameters for the segment criteria of a new segment. You'll need to select a predefined version to use for the creating segment criteria. When the version is selected, the merchandise and location are selected as well, based on the version. And then I'll create a unique name to identify the segment. The Segment By dropdown is a predefined group of attributes that include customer demographics, RFM and customer behavior, category purchase behavior, and customer demographics and behavior. These criteria types are sets of attributes. For example, customer demographics are the properties of a customer. These properties can include ethnicity, income, and age. To define the effective period, you select either planning period, fiscal period, or select the date. The source time period fields are also selected based on the version selected for the segment criteria. When you are creating new segment criteria, you can see the details about the following parameters that can help you understand the segment you're creating. You can see the Segment By primary scenario when you select Segment By in the Criteria panel when you are setting the segment criteria parameters. The system displays the primary scenario, its pre-configured properties, and the significant attributes identified during the attribute importance process for each segment by. Now I'll click Submit. The All Segment Criteria scenario page displays the scenarios for the selected segment criteria. It includes the name assigned to each scenario that has been created for the segment, and the status such as created, ready for preview, ready for approval, completed with errors, approved, or rejected. It includes the number of attributes and the user-provided value for the minimum and maximum segment centers that the segmenting process should consider. In addition, you can use the toolbar buttons to edit, copy, and delete segment criteria. You can execute segment criteria and all non-executed scenarios for the selected criteria. I'll go ahead and select the Execute icon. Notice that the status changes to Assessment in Progress. I'll click the Refresh button until it changes to Ready for Approval. Now let's take a look at the Explore Data option. You can use the Explore Data pop-up to examine data for the segment criteria you defined. You can view the customer and attribute summary that provides input into the segmentation process. This screen provides you with insights about the attribute mining process, which lists the attribute significance and their correlations. The attributes required for the customer segmentation process come from different dimensions, such as customers, their households, demographics, and purchasing behavior. This process helps to eliminate redundant attributes and to identify the attributes that may have the most influence on generating customer segments. The attribute summary displays information about data availability and data quality by providing the attributes distinct values, percentage of nulls, and statistics summaries, such as mean, median, and standard deviation. Along with attribute summaries, the system generates an attribute importance index that sums up data quality, data distribution, and its representation of each attribute in the data. In the Attribute Correlation tab, the correlation matrix displays attributes, attribute values, and correlations between customer and products. Each cell in the matrix provides a visual indication of how attributes are correlated, along with the correlation value. The attribute mining process generates a correlation between customer attributes and products. This information can help you understand which combination of customer attributes may drive product purchase behavior. Various colors indicate the strength of correlation among attributes, with -1 and 1 indicating strong association. You can use the segment setup stage to perform what-if analysis by defining one or more scenarios that are based on a specified number of segments and attributes. You can select one or more attributes based on the Attribute Importance Index. The Attribute Importance Index guides you when you are defining the scenario setup. Using these scenarios, you can experiment with different numbers of segments and participating attributes. You can either define the maximum number or the minimum number of segments, or alternatively define a specific number of segments that you want to be generated. Once the scenarios are generated, different scenarios can be compared. You can also use other features in this stage to copy or delete scenarios. The scenario list summarizes the characteristics for each scenario. You can copy, delete, execute, and save a scenario. You can also refresh the scenario list in order to view the updated scenario status. After you select a scenario and execute it, you can see the results in the Segment Results stage. The Scenario Results has two tabs, Segments and Segment Composition. The application uses the data and the parameters you defined in order to group customers together that are most similar according to the characteristics you selected, and to separate customers that are most dissimilar. The graph view shows the percentage for each attribute in the segment. The Segment Composition sub-tab breaks down the segment into its component parts and shows the percentages for each attribute. The table view shows attributes, their confidence, and summary statistics within each segment. The graph view shows the segment composition by attribute. The Scenario List section contains one table with details about each segment. Here you can evaluate KPIs and approve or reject a segment. You can also view the optimality of the segments recommended by the application to determine if increasing the number of segments beyond the optimal number is significant. I'll click Next to bring us to the Segment Insights stage. You can use the Segment Insights stage to analyze a scenario, its segments, and its hierarchy based on performance and attribute contributions prior to the approval of the scenario. This stage includes customer segment analysis, category analysis, and opportunity analysis. The Customer Segment Analysis tab lists all scenarios, the customer segments for each scenario, and the related KPIs. Aggregates of the attributes are displayed for each segment. The attributes by default are included in the grids Customer Purchase Behavior and Customer Demographics. The Category Analysis tab lists the top categories versus the customer segment matrix. You can analyze the segment performance in each category using different sets of attributes, such as sales share or number of trips. The system highlights the top 3 performing segments for each category, and you can compare category performance across segments. The Opportunity Analysis tab provides a comparison of the retailer to market data analysis for the category and provides an analysis about where there is an opportunity for the retailer to grow for each segment. You can compare where the retailer is performing better by comparing the average sales retail spend per a configurable time period. And finally, to approve the segment, we'll click Approve under the Action drop-down. As part of this session, I showed you how to create a customer segment and how you can use this information to describe and predict customer behavior. For more information, please visit us on the Oracle Retail Documentation homepage.